A very good afternoon, everybody. Uh, the Westland is the poem which has always mesmerized the people for last 100 plus years. T.S. Eliot's the famous poem is quite popularly known as the epic of the modern era. Uh, the poem stands as one of the most influential and challenging poems of 20th century literature, capturing with extraordinary intensity the spiritual, cultural, and psychological disintegration of the modern world in the aftermath of the First World War. Though Elizabeth Autka tries to read this poem as an outcome of Spanish flu also. Published in 1922, just after the Spanish flu as well as the First World War, the poem reflects a civilization haunted by loss, fragmentation, and a profound sense of meaninglessness, yet also animated by a restless search for renewal. Through its collage like structure, shifting voice, multiple languages, and dense network of literary, mythological, religious, and cultural allusions, the Westland resists linear narrative and demands an active, interpretive engagement from its readers. As you prepare to listen to the presentations by the group of students, we have today five students who are going to make a presentation. That's Nancy, Mithal, Hiralba, and Khushi. While we listen to their introductory presentation, it is useful to approach the poem not as a puzzle with a single solution, but as a modernist text that deliberately mirrors the broken rhythms and uncertainties of modern life. Let us invite the group of students to give us a brief introduction to this poem. You can start now.
Hello, good afternoon. Today I am discuss about the Westland by T.S. Eliot, an introductory overview presented by me, Khushi Parmar, Mittal Helaya, Jansi Rathod, and Nancy Virda. First is introduction. The Westland is a landmark poem by T.S. Eliot, one of the most influential poets of modernism. Written in the aftermath of World War One, the poem reflects a World War marked disillusionment, fragmentation, and spiritual crisis. Through a series of fragmented voices, images, and myths, Eliot portrays modern civilization as emotionally barren and morally exhaust. The poem draws on classical, biblical, and Eastern sources to explore the loss of meaning, the search for renewal. Widely regarded as a defining text of modern poetry, the Westland transformed poetic form and critical thoughts. Uh, we understand the historical background. Westland was published in 1922. The Westland was just a few years after World War One, which listed from 1940 to 1980. This timing is crucial because the war had completely shaken European society. World War caused massive loss of life, psychological trauma, collapse of traditional moral and social values. Europe experienced a sense of disillusionment, spiritual emptiness, cultural fragmentations, the decline of religious faith and trust in progress deeply influence writers. The poem reflects the crisis of a modern civilization and the search for meaning in a broken world. about T.S. Eliot. Now, I would like to briefly introduce T.S. Eliot. Uh, uh, his full name Thomas Trent Eliot, born in USA. He and he became a British citizen, a leading poet and critic of modernism. His major work, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock and the Westland Four Quarters. He's achieving a Nobel Prize in Literature 1948. His belief, Eliot believed in modern society had lost faith, order, and spiritual direction. The myth of the Westland. T.S. Eliot how to use a mythical method in his poem. It derived from Fisher King legends in medieval Greek romances. The Fisher Kings, both physically and spiritually wounded, rules over a land that becomes barren and sterile. The state of the land mirrors the moral and spiritual conditions of its ruler. Restoration of the land is possible only through spiritual awakening, or the asking the right and redemptive questions. Eliot adapt this myth to modern civilization, where spiritual decays leads to cultural and social collapse. Modern humanity resembles the wounded fisher kings, disconnected from meaning. The myth provided unifying structural framework, giving coherence to the poems fragmented from the and imposing order on modern chaos. Significance of the title. Literary meaning, a land that it empty, barren, and uncultivated. Uh, Symbolic meaning, Eliot uses this title show the spiritual and moral emptiness of modern society. Reflects emotional and cultural barrenness after World War One. Represent the fragmented and confused state of the post-war border. Border implications suggested the human life, relationship, and culture are drained and infertile. Points to the need for renewal and spiritual revival. Links to ancient myths like the Fisher Kings to show human and social decay is a recurring problems. Here is a detailed infographic. You can easily understand the presentation. And now I would like to invite Mr. Helaya.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mittal Halaya. Today, I am going to present the poem by T.S. Eliot. This is a modernist poem, The Westland, published in 1922. The poem reflects the spiritual emptiness, moral decay, and psychological crisis of a post World War First society. I will explain poem section by section. Part 1 of the Westland, the burial of the dead. Um Eliot begins with very surprising line. April is the cruelest month because World War happens in end in April. That's why this it's time of rebirth. It's painful for people. Winter gives comfort through forgetfulness. Here, spring does not bring joy. Instead, it forces people to face painful memories and truth. People prefer ignorance over self knowledge. Images of sterility, deadlands, dry roots, dust, stony rubbish, symbol of lack of spiritual life. Uh, this part central idea of this section shows the spiritual emptiness and moral barrenness of modern life. Eliot used his technique, fragmented structure, shifting voices, biblical and cultural allusions, modernist method, and here is the three important lines of this section. Part 2 of the Wasteland, uh, a game of chess, title taken from Thomas Middleton's play, focuses on personal relationships, especially marriage and love, because it symbolizes mechanical, emotionless relationship where love and marriage become like moves in a game, not genuine human connections. Central concern of this section is emotional emptiness and breakdown of communication, love reduced to routine, boredom, and anxiety. In this section, two contrasting scenes. The first scene is upper class woman in luxurious room, lower class couple Lil and Albert in the pub. Despite social difference, both reveal the same spiritual emptiness. Second scene is a rich woman scene, surrounded by beauty and luxury, feels lonely, insecure, and mentally disturbed. Repeated questions show emotional instability, symbolizes emptiness behind material comfort. Tactics and significance. Pub scene. Marriage without love or understanding focuses on sex, childbirth, and appearance. Shows emotional and moral decay in everyday life. Here is the three important lines of this section. My nerves are bad tonight. Speak to me. Why do you never speak? Hurry up, please. It's time. This line, hurry up, please. It's time, suggests mechanical life and laws of emotional depth, style, and significance. Dramatic dialogue and everyday speech, fragmented modernist structure reveals the collapse of love and marriage, extend the wasteland into private domestic life. Here is the part 3 of the wasteland, the fire sermon, the longest section of the poem, title taken from Buddha's fire sermon, which teaches that human life is burning with desire and passion, and peace is possible only through self control and detachment. Uh, Eliot used the setting, River Thames and modern London, once a symbol of beauty and fertility, but after the World War, it's this Thames River and modern London, now polluted and lifeless, reflect decay in modern society. Central figure Tiresias, blind prophet who has lived as both man and woman, observes all major events, connects past and present, key scenes and significance, the typist and the clerk scene, mechanical and emotionless, sexual encounter shows loss of intimacy and human connections, important images, important lines, the river sweats oil and tar, I Tiresias, though blind. Significance shows the lowest stage of social and moral decay, expand the idea of wasteland into everyday urban life. This is from my side. Now I would like to invite Nancy for section fourth and fifth part.
Part 4 is smallest part of this poem. From the 434 lines, this part only have 10 lines. Part name is Death by Water. Central focus is death by fragility of human being or human life. Main character is Preleb, who is sailor or a fisher king, who is go for the uh, medicine for to live, but at the end he was die in sea. Meaning of his death, that destroy all worldly success or status or major achievements of the bird or a woman. Technique or significance. Now, the key lines. A current undersea pegged his bone in whisper, or Phillips the Phoenician, or a fortnight dead are the key lines or main lines. Contrast with other parts. This part is symbolized with the water. Water usually suggests the rebirth, but here water is bring death, not revival. Style and significance, simple lyric and highly symbolic, serve as a warning against pride and materialism. Part 5 is derived from the Upanishads. This is the final part of the poem, and the central idea is peace, morality, and a revival of human being with morality. Central concept is a spiritual crisis or revival humanity and cultural collapse. Setting is dry, rocky, and empty place or landscapes. Key lines. Absence of water symbolizes lack of spiritual life, the journey success, a quest for meaning and solutions. Thunder's message. Here, thunder is taken from the Upanishads, which teaches us Datta, Davyadham, and Damyata. Datta means give, Dayadvam means symbolize, and Damyata means control. It's mean a woman being need give control in their desire or need peace. Meaning of the message: selflessness, compassion, and the self discipline in word with morality. Now, significance or concluding of this part: offer hope after despair, suggests spiritual recognition is possible, and the end with the prayer for Shanti, 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 which is also derived by our Upanishads. Now, the modernist technique in the Westland: fragment, allusion, and references, multiple voices, mythical methods, symbolism, imagery, many contrasts or paradox, punctuations, and the rhythms are the mainly modern techniques used by T.S. Eliot in this poem. Thank you. Now I would to invite Khushi for symbol and themes.
Hello everyone, myself Khushi Parmar. I talk about themes in the Westland. The first theme is spiritual and cultural decay. Modern society has lost faith, values, and meaning. Post WWI disillusionment and moral emptiness. Second is fragmentation and chaos. Life and society represented as a broken and disconnected, reflect in the poem's fragmented structure. Death and morality. Human life is a fragile and temporary. Death equalizes all shown in death by water. Fourth theme is a search for redemption and renewal. Spiritual regeneration possible through self-discipline, compassion, and generosity, represented in what the thunder said. Fifth is sexuality and moral corruption, lust, mechanical sex, and emotional emptiness in human relationship. Explore a game of chess and fire sermon. Here are some major symbols of this poem. First is the wasteland, symbol of spiritual emptiness and moral decay, represents modern society after World War I, shows laws of faith, values, and purpose in life. Second is water, symbol of both death and rebirth. Lack of water means spiritual death. Rain at the end suggests renewal and hope. Third is the fisher king, symbol of wounded humanity. His illness reflect a sickness of the land. Healing of the king means renewal of society. The fourth is fire, symbol of destructive desire and lust, represents uncontrolled passion. This also suggests a purification through discipline. Fifth is music, voices, and chanting reflect cultural decay or spiritual longing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This is a desire for peace. The unreal city, a symbol of modern urban life. This represents isolation, routine, and the lack of real human connection. People move like a living dead. So, thank you. This is from my side. I would like to invite Jency for further information.
Hello everyone, I'm Jansi Rathod. So I would like to tell about the case study of the text The Westland by T.S. Eliot. So the fragmented structure is like a non-linear storyline, and the frequent shift confuse the readers. The multiple voices, sudden changes in the speakers without clear markers, and we can see the heavy allusions, reference to the myth, religion, history, and the literature, which demands a wide background knowledge. Multilingual language. We can see the use of Latin, Greek, French, German, and Sanskrit. Symbolism and ambiguity. Meanings are indirect and which are open to multiple interpretations. Next is modernist style. So the non-traditional forms differs from conventional poetry, and the abstract themes is like spiritual sterility and moral decay and emotional detachment, which lacks of a clear narrative or emotion reduces reader engagement. Here's the conclusion. So the T.S. Eliot's Westland shows spiritual, moral, and cultural emptiness. And Eliot uses fragmented structure, different voices and symbolism, myths, and which confuses the readers. And Eliot also gives a sense of hope and renewal. And the ending phrase we can see is Shanti, 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 which suggests spiritual peace. Here are the resources. Thank you.
Good. Thanks to the entire group. Well presented. The good slides were prepared, and it covered the all the content of the poem. About T.S. Eliot, a brief biographical sketch. Then the poem, which is in 5 parts. All the 5 parts were briefly summarized. And then symbols, themes, and allusions were also briefly mentioned. So a good introductory presentation. We will continue our discussion of the poem from Monday onwards in our regular classroom. We are ending this live stream here.